Dash U. I am super excited for you guys to be here right now. This is our first Dash Master class. I am pumped to teach you this, guys. I have worked so hard for this for you guys. I know that this is going to change your agency because I put in all the time and effort to make this extremely valuable for you guys. Guys, before I jump in, I want to know where are you guys coming from? Where are you guys tuning in from? Let's get some engagement. Let's see who's in the room, guys. Let's get some excitement going on, guys. If you're here live, drop a 343 in the chat. We got Craig in the house from Detroit. We got Labora from Baltimore. We got Craig. What is going on, guys? I am super excited for you guys to be here. Who is pumped right now? Who is excited to learn how to go out there and be extremely confident when it comes to your digital marketing services and going out there and be able to make impacts in other businesses out there? Who is excited to learn this craft so that you can go out there and make a huge impact? We have Craig, we have Danny from Arkansas. What is going on, guys? Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I am super excited to get started here. Today's Dash Masterclass is going to be about identifying the right services to offer specific niches and identifying their lowest hanging fruit. Now, the reason that this topic is so important is because, guys, if you as a digital marketing expert, right, which is what you are being a Dash clicker, right, or someone who's using fulfillment like DashClicks, if you yourself, if you're not confident in what you're going out there and offering other business owners, they have a filter for that. So if you're not confident and completely certain in what you're offering as a strategy or as a recommendation to a business owner, they are not going to trust you to even give you a shot. So what we're going to be breaking down today is how to go out there, even if you're just starting out, how to go out there with extreme confidence and then go and be able to make an impact, positive impact on a business owner who may not have this solution in place. So he's going to give you guys a shot because you are the one to actually guide them to this service, and we're going to dive into that here in this training. So I'm going to jump right into it, and here we go. So first things first is, what is a low-hanging fruit? You guys hear me talk about this all the time in the chat. You guys hear me talk about this a lot in the group. And the reason that I say this is because it's so important to understand what a low-hanging fruit is. And the reason that I love the lowest hanging fruit is because it's the easiest barrier to entry. If you notice in this image, the little guy here, he's going after not the higher apples, but the lowest one. Why? Because it's the easiest, it's the lowest hanging fruit, it's the easiest to obtain. So why go out and try to grab the higher apples when we have the apples right down here that can be easily obtained and make you a lot of freaking money? So let's jump into it. So what is a lowest hanging fruit? So a low hanging fruit refers to a task, actions, or goals that may be easily achieved. And so we're going to go through it for different industries as we go through this training so that you guys have a better understanding on what it is that I mean by lowest hanging fruit. And this is going to be a lot more clear for you guys here in a second. So well, now that you know what a lowest hanging fruit is, the next step is understanding your ascension ladder. Now, what is an ascension ladder? An ascension ladder is what other people call also a value ladder, right? So a value ladder is basically setting up your clients for success by ascending them up your value ladder, right? Do not be the agency that offers the whole world and the farm up front to your clients, right? So you want to avoid front loading your offer. So I'm going to stop there and kind of clarify what that means. So by front loading your offer, which we're going to get to here in a second, means that you're offering an entire, farm to a business owner who doesn't know, like, or trust you yet. So guys, if you're offering to basically do everything for a business before even knowing the business owner's problems, pains, their current situation, guys, they aren't going to trust you. They're going to feel like you are selling them, and anyone who feels like you're selling them isn't going to buy, right? So the goal here, guys, is to become an expert at guiding the person to a purchase, right? Instead of selling, we're gonna guide them to the purchase, and that's what we're gonna go ahead and break down here. So the goal is to ascend them up as you build rapport and credibility with your client, right? We're gonna start by solving their lowest hanging fruit, and as you do this, you're going to be earning their trust and credibility. And once you have qualified, because now you've earned their trust and credibility, that is when you'll be able to solve bigger problems for their business, which in turn means more money for you as an agency owner. Bigger problems equals more money, and we're going to show you, and I'm going to break down how you go from a lowest hanging fruit to solving a massive problem, which means that your clients, because it's such a big problem that you're solving for them, is going to stick around with you forever. If this is making sense, guys, drop a 254 in the chat. I want to make sure you guys are engaged, you guys are here, you guys are interacting. If you guys are on the same page so far, drop a 254 in the chat before I continue here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So let's continue on. So, what not to do. Guys, take a look at this right here and just observe here what you're looking at. So, on our first date, I was thinking we could figure out the name of our children. Wow. Just think about that for a second, right? Imagine if you went out on a date with someone you don't know, a complete stranger, which is ideally the relationship you have with a prospect, right? Whether you're cold outreaching, whether you're direct messaging, whether you're cold calling, right? The relationship you have, right, is the exact same as what you see in this image here. So on your first date, right, imagine asking the person that you're with, right, how can we figure out the name of our children? Like, what do you think will happen, right? So what do you think will happen if that's the approach, and that's the approach that you have with your first date? It's gonna be like, dude, no, that's weird. That's really weird, right? I don't even feel comfortable anymore, right? Because you're going from 0 to 100 real quick, and you may not even know the person's name, their history, their background. You don't know anything about them. So what makes you think that you're qualified to ask this question? Once again, guys, if you don't qualify to ask a question like this because you have built that relationship, because you have built that rapport, because you have built trust and credibility with the other person, quote unquote, your business owner, then you do not qualify to ask to solve big problems for their business, right? And so let's break that down a little bit more. If you're on the same page here, drop a 333 in the chat if you know now what not to do. Drop a 333 in the chat if you're going to avoid asking about the name of their children on your first date. And that's a tip right there on dating. So if you guys aren't dating, don't do that. Now, this is equivalent to an agency doing the following, right? So asking for $10,000 for all 10 locations to do Google ad services without having any prior history with the client or track record yourself. Now, think about this, guys. This is ideally the same thing as asking your date the name of their, what the name of the children are going to be, right? Because what do you think the business owner is going to be thinking when you're requesting for them to invest $10,000 into you, someone they don't know yet, someone they don't like yet? I mean, they don't really like you yet, right? And they don't really trust you because you haven't done anything to build rapport. You haven't done anything to justify that you can actually deliver on the offer. So what not to do is this, and I see this happening a lot. People are trying to offer the entire farm up front because they know they're a franchise, they know they have multiple locations, and here you go, oh, how can I run an ad for all 15 locations when you haven't even run one, right? So what not to do, right? Another one, saying you can do a full website rebuild, Google, Facebook ads, SEO, call tracking with an ad budget of $5K, not including your management fee, to someone who is a complete stranger. Guys, we need to stop doing this. Yes, we have DashClicks. Yes, we have the opportunity where a fulfillment team can do all of these different services for you. But guys, once again, going back to the dating thing, if you don't know the person that you're speaking to, quote unquote, the business owner, if they don't know you, they don't like you, they don't trust you, don't ask them what the name of your children are going to be, right? So once again, this is the same as dating, guys. You wouldn't go out on a date, right, until you've asked the person, you know, their name, what they're about, and all these different things to make sure you like the person, right? You have to like the person. You're not gonna, no one's gonna buy something from you, no matter what you're selling, if they don't like you, right? If we're on the same page here, drop a 525 in the chat. If we're on the same page here, I don't want to go too fast here. I want to make sure you guys are here. You guys are understanding. We're on the same page. If you have any questions, by the way, guys, drop them in the chat. We're gonna have a Q&A at the end of this training just to make sure you know you guys are obtaining and absorbing everything properly. Moving on. So we are going to talk about here how to build your ascension ladder, right? How to appropriately position your digital marketing services to a business owner where it's in their best interest, right? Leveraging what we know about digital marketing to guide your client up your value ladder, right? To help them recognize and reassure themselves that you are a true expert in your field, right? Because no one likes working with an amateur, and that's the reality of the fact. And a lot of the times, because we're out there, you know, doubting ourselves, doubting what we can do for a business, your clients, your prospects that you're in conversation with, they have a filter for that. They can hear it in your voice. They can hear it in your tone. They can hear it in your body language if you're in person, right? They can see it in your body language that you're not confident, right? No one wants to hire someone who isn't confident, right? So you need to become someone who has extreme certainty in your product and service that you're offering, whether it's Facebook, Google, SEO, content marketing, whatever it is that you're wanting to approach a business owner with, which is going to be ideally their lowest hanging fruit, which we're going to get into here in a second. But if you're not completely confident in what you're offering, guys, you are going to get a ton of resistance that is just there because you're raising a bunch of red flags in the prospect's mind because they're like, dude, this guy doesn't even know what he's talking about, right? It sounds like he's like assuming or he's guessing, right? He doesn't sound confident. He doesn't sound certain, right? So this is what we're going to get better at, and this is what we're going to go through in this training so that we can overcome that obstacle. Now, this right here is a value ladder in general, right? And so I kind of want to just walk you through what this means, right? So obviously, the more value that we provide as a expert, right, as a digital marketing agency, obviously means there's going to be more investment and more reoccurring revenue. And we can all agree that as we solve bigger problems, it's going to, you know, obviously cost the business owner more and a bigger investment, but ideally it's going to be in benefit of that business's growth, right, and their long-term goals. So as we build trust, we build credibility, we build rapport, what ends up happening is the confidence of that prospect, of the business owner that you're helping, increases. Their certainty in hiring you increases. Their trust in you as a business owner increases. So why not pay that person more money because I already believe in them and what they can do, right? So ideally, your first step is offering your lowest hanging fruit, which we're going to get into here in a second, and then gradually moving them up your value ladder, which is what we're going to be talking about here in a second. So starting at a low hanging fruit, meaning something extremely easy to accomplish, which is going to also give them massive benefit, okay? And then as you have built that trust, as you have built that credibility, as you have built that rapport, and they realize, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about, this guy did a great job on the first service, let's see, you know, what else he can do, right? I like this guy, right? And so now you can offer to solve a bigger problem for your business, right? So if this making sense, drop a 255 in the chat. If this is making sense to you guys, that the more value you provide, the bigger investment that comes with it, right? If that makes sense, drop a 255 in the chat, right? Because this is how, right, a low ticket client ends up becoming a high ticket client, right? Ideally, they could start paying you very little here. Ideally, maybe something like, you know, $100, for example, okay? And then that $100 turns into $500, right? And then that then turns into $1,500, right? And then that then turns into for $5,000, right? And then you just keep moving them up the ranks. But ideally, as you move them up, you're solving a bigger problem for their business. And every time you move them up a step, guess what it also does? It reassures the purchaser or your buyer or your business owner, it reassures their first purchase with you. So it becomes more sticky, right? It's harder for someone to leave if you're doing so much for them. But if you're just doing one thing for somebody, okay, it's very easy to just go hire someone else to do all of this other stuff. As you can see, a lot of us are leaving tons of money on the table because we don't know how to properly ascend the business owner up the value ladder, and that's what we're going to go ahead and get into here in a second. So, people buy people, not the product and service you sell, right? And then this is, let me just break this down, right? Because how many digital marketer agencies are there out there, right? There's a ton of them. There's a ton of digital marketing agencies. And so why buy the digital marketing services from you, right? And so the question every agency should ask themselves is, why would a business owner invest into my agency rather than another agency, right? The difference is that your prospects will know that you care and that you are on their team, right? Because if you do this right, by the time you ask for the sale, right, they know that you are on the same page. They know you understand their problems. They know that you understand their desires, right? They know that you understand their history and what they've done in the past because you have asked those questions, because if we don't, to them, it's gonna seem as if you don't care. It's just another sale to you as a digital marketing agency. And if that's the perspective, if that's what they're thinking, you guys aren't gonna make any money, okay? You guys need to put a little heart into your sales, because if you don't, your business owner is just gonna hire someone who will, okay? So, this is what's gonna make you different. The difference is, you're gonna be on their team, they're gonna know that, and that they are not just another sale or a number in your book, right? And that you truly care about growing their business, have their best interest in mind, and that you will do anything in your power to get them the results as possible by right-fitting them into the best results as possible by right-fitting them into the right solution, right? Once again, guiding them to the purchase versus selling them. If we guide them, right, that means we're expertly recommending what we should do or what they should do, right? And if you are recommending something and they think that they need to do another thing, you become the expert because you're giving them the reasons of why their idea isn't going to work as effectively as they think, versus your idea is what's going to be in their best interest because of X, Y, and Z, okay? So, what we're going to do now, okay, we're going to have a little fun, okay? If this is valuable to you guys so far, drop a 355 in the chat. I want to make sure that this is something you guys are all on the same page with, all right? Drop a 355 in the chat. This is valuable so far, okay? Awesome. So we're going to have a little fun. What's going on? What's going on, guys? So we're going to have a little fun here. We're going to break down some industries. And I purposely picked these industries because we do have Insta sites, obviously, and Insta sites has a majority of these industries. So if you guys are using Insta sites, this is going to be a really great training for you. But ideally, what we're about to go through is something that, the biggest takeaway you want to get from this is how we're building these ascension ladders for each of these industries, so that if your industry isn't on this list, you can apply the same material to your actual industry that you're in and ideally ascend them in the same way. So we're going to break down a dentist, a roofer, a restaurant, an attorney, gyms, chiropractor, med spa, and landscaper. If you guys in the group, if any of you guys are going after these niches, drop the niche that you're going after here in the chat so I could just kind of get on the same page of who's working with who, or if anything, just drop your niche in the chat here to see what you guys are working with. Awesome, awesome. So we have contractors, roofers, landscaper, real estate. Awesome. So guys, this right here is going to be a great fit for all of the niches that you guys are mentioning here, because ideally it's taking the same psychology and applying it to the industry that you're working with, okay? So I have a landscaping client, social media and SEO. Awesome. So let's jump into it. So the first niche we're breaking down is a dentist, okay? These are the dentists. Obviously, you got something crazy is going on here. And what we're going to do is break down what their value ladder looks like. So with a dentist, okay, remember, this works for someone who's just starting out or someone who's been in the game for a while and knows what they're doing. Ideally, you still want to do this as an expert or a beginner, okay? So a dentist value ladder, this is kind of what it looks like from a broad point of view, okay? Ideally, you want to get in conversation with a dentist first before you jump into something like this, because, you know, before you go out and offer your services, you need to be in a conversation with somebody. So ideally, the first thing is to use, you know, whether it's Insta sites, whether it's your Facebook profile, your LinkedIn profile, whatever it is, to start a conversation with a dentist, for example. And guys, the biggest tip I can give you right now, if you don't have a client, is use your personal social media profiles, right? Because once again, going back to what I said at the beginning of the training, what is this all about? It's about building trust with the other person. So the more trust you can build with that person, the more probability you have of them actually giving you a shot and actually allowing them to invest into you. So the best thing you can do is use your social media outlets like Facebook or LinkedIn, right? Very, very personal. You can design your cover photos. You can put your bios of what you do. Essentially, you can make it your digital business card, where when you go out and reach out for a dentist on Facebook, okay, which you know that they're a dentist because it says on their thing that they're a dentist, right? The owner of dentist, whatever it is, you message that person, and it's as simple as this. Hey, my name is Angel. I run a digital marketing agency, and I happened to come across your profile, and I was just wondering, if you needed more customers or if you needed more patients, because I specialize in doing this for businesses just like yourself. I would love to jump on a call if it's something that you're looking to do, okay? Something like that. It's just a message that's going to start a conversation. You're not giving them any details. You're literally reaching out to them. You can say, I love to stay connected. How long have you been in business for? Because I work with businesses just like yourself, helping them grow, right? Let's jump on a call if this is something that you're, looking to do, right? It's just starting that conversation, and ideally, you take that response, and the second you get that response, because, they're going to respond to a message, especially from Facebook. I mean, how many messages do you really ignore on Facebook, right? Because it's very personal. People are used to messaging back and forth with people they don't know. So if you message them the appropriate way, right, not trying to make it all fancy and all sexy and all this stuff, just being straight up with the person, that will then turn into a conversation that you can jump on a phone call and ask the questions that I mentioned in the past, like, what have you been currently doing? What have you tried in the past? What's been the best offer that you have ran? Have you worked with a digital marketing agency in the past or before, right? How was your experience, right? That's the conversation you need to have before you get to this, okay? Because if you can't get past that first part, which is starting a conversation with someone you can help, okay, you'll never get to this point, okay? And we like to skip steps, or we think about cutting corners a lot of the times, and we don't realize that the first step is just being human, right? Be more human, right? And if you have to, right, another big tip here is, like, guys, if you record a video of yourself, right, saying exactly that, hey, Mr. Dentist, it's great to be connected. My name is Angel. I run a digital marketing agency, and I actually specialize in helping dentists grow their practice, right? And I would love to jump on a call to see if this is something that can be a right fit for your business, right? Just send them a personal video, guys, right? Send them a video and let them read it. And if they don't read it, if they read it and they don't respond, guess what you do? You follow up. Hey, I was just wondering if you checked out my video. I would love to see if it'd be a right fit to jump on a call. Right? They almost feel obligated to respond, whether it's no, I'm not interested, or hey, yeah, I've been super busy, reach out to me this other day. Guys, it works. And a lot of times we don't get results because we don't even take the action. I guarantee you, okay? I guarantee you if you go out right now after this training and you send out 10 or even 20 messages right now to a dentist, okay? With that approach, you're gonna get at least 5 or 6 replies, okay? Which will then turn into a call, which would then turn into a qualifying call, right? Which is what the call is, that first call where you ask those questions. And then ideally that turns into, you know what? I believe that the way you answer those questions, that my program will be an amazing fit, a perfect fit for you. I would love to schedule a strategy session with you on, tomorrow or the next day to kind of go over my program. Okay? And then that's when you would start your value ladder. Okay? So if you guys understand that, drop a 1, 2, 3 in the chat before I jump into this. Okay, drop a 1, 2, 3 if you guys understand that you need to first start a conversation, okay, before you even qualify to start talking about services, guys. Because remember, if they know that you can care less about them, because that whole qualification call in the beginning is so that they know that you care about helping them, right? Because if you didn't ask, okay, what have you done in the past, or if you didn't ask, like, what have you tried, or what didn't work, or what was your experience, like, they know you can care less about that. And if you care less, then they can care less about hiring you. And that's just the way business works, right? Because people buy people, not the product and service that you sell, okay? So let's move on. So for a dentist, first things first, they need to be on the maps, because if someone types in teeth whitening or teeth cleaning or whatever it is, right, they need to be on the maps to actually be found. And to be on the maps, you actually have to be added to multiple directories, right? Trusted directories, which is our directory listing service, okay? They have to be added to multiple trusted directories to actually be shown when someone types in something like, I need a teeth cleaning on Google, to actually appear as a listed business in the Google Maps section. So the approach here is, okay, Mr. Business owner, I noticed here that you have your dentist practice here, but you're not anywhere to be found on Google Maps. So if I type in teeth whitening or teeth cleaning, your dentist doesn't even show up, right? And because it doesn't show up, all your competitors are taking all your customers, Mr. Dentist. Let's jump on a call and let me help you with that, okay? So that is how you start a relationship, okay? And if it's even something like this, so guys, I don't know if you have ever done this, but for directories, right, to be on Google, for example, to be on Google, right, you need to have your business verified, meaning that's why you need that physical location and things like that, because Google is being very strict and need to make sure that you have a business on, that's a legitimate business with a storefront, with your address, everything, right, before they actually verify you and put you on Google Maps, okay? So why is that important? Because if Google doesn't verify your business and someone visits your business and supplies Google with your address and you don't claim that as a business, Google will remove you completely off of the map section, and it's like you got completely taken off the map and you could have been in business for 20 years, and because you didn't claim your listing, now Google completely takes you off like you don't exist. And now your competitors that just started last week are taking all your clients, right? So that's the conversation that you can have with a dentist if you go through their Google Maps, and we could talk about this in another training, but you can go through a Google Maps section and notice all the people who aren't verified, and simply click on it and say, hey, Mr. Customer or Mr. Prospect, I just noticed you're on Google, but you haven't verified your business on Google. Google's about to remove your listing here in a minute where no one will be able to find you or give you a call to your business, okay? Let me help you with that. And even if you have to just charge, let's say $100 to help them verify their business, because it's as simple as literally clicking verify now. It's gonna ask, okay, the name of the person, name of the business, verify the address, and then it's gonna give you 3 options. One of them, if they have their phone number registered on Google, it'll say, you can verify it with a phone number, or you can verify it with an email, I believe. And then the last one is actually the most valuable one, which is send a postcard. Okay, and you can easily charge $100 for this, $100, okay, to get your feet wet, right? Because that's the first step. They need to be verified before you can even do directory listings, okay? And then once they're verified, the conversation turns into, all right, now that we got you verified, we need to power up your listings to make it actually a trusted listing on Google by putting your same information on a whole bunch of trusted other directories, right? And then that's when the conversation turns into, well, how do you do that? Oh, well, that's a great question, right? And then that's when you would then offer, boom, directory listings. Does that make sense? Does that make sense so far, guys? Are we all on the same page? Was that confusing? Do you want me to repeat myself? Was there anything that didn't make sense there? Because I want to, before we continue doing this, I want to make sure that we're all on the same page. Okay, drop a 545 in the chat. Another example, Danny asks. Another example, okay, another example, right? Let's say you have a business that you notice that just started, okay? You got a brand new business owner who's like, hey, you know what? I'm just starting a business. What can you do for me to help me with my digital marketing stuff, okay? Well, first things first, if you have a physical location, you need to be found, right? And the best thing you can do is to put yourself on Google. I would love to help you with that, okay? Do not solve the problem, right? A lot of the times, we undervalue our actual expertise by solving the problem before you actually ask for anything in exchange. And guess what? If you do that constantly, your client will always think that you're just full of free stuff, free value, and they'll never have to pay or invest into you, okay? So you want to make sure that when you are going to offer to solve a problem, like something as simple as verifying your listing, that you do the exact same protocol as any other service here. Let's jump on a call and let me walk you through it. Okay? Jump on a call, let me walk you through it. I would love to show you how this is done. Okay? And then basically you would walk him through it and you would mention how he needs to verify it, etc., and how important it is to verify it and what the benefits are. And then from there, you would then turn that into a service that he pays for because he doesn't know how to do it himself. Okay? That's the lowest hanging fruit, right? Someone asks, what do you suggest for mobile services without a physical locations? Are listings still effective for them? So without a physical location, you cannot be on listings because it's not a physical location. People can't drive to it and buy something, right? And that's what Google wants. So for e-commerce stores, which is someone who doesn't have a physical location, the approach is going to be different, okay? The lowest hanging fruit is going to be different for them, okay? And we'll talk about that here in a second, but let's not get off track and let's continue here with the dentist. So after you get them on listings, the next best thing is what? Facebook ads. Why? Because a customer like a dentist or a business owner like a dentist, what they really want from a digital marketer is what? More business, more patience, more money in their pocket, right? To justify to pay someone like you every single month. So the lowest hanging fruit for a dentist is a Facebook ad. Why? Because the services that a dentist offers, like a teeth whitening, a teeth cleaning, you know, sometimes a free consultation, but that's not as sexy as a teeth whitening or teeth cleaning service, right? That's something that even if I woke up today without the intention of buying a teeth cleaning, like if I get a good enough offer as I'm scrolling through my newsfeed on my 30-minute break at work, I'm like, you know what? 20 bucks, teeth cleaning? Why not? You know, I go live enough times. Why not have whiter teeth? Okay? I didn't have the intention to submit my information, but guess what? Why not, right? Facebook ads, okay? Something like that works very well with Facebook ads because who doesn't want white teeth, okay? Who doesn't have, you know, their teeth that needs to be clean, right? So that's something that is an offer that's sexy enough that you can actually run on Facebook ads and get really effective results because that then turns into, once again, ascending that patient up the dentist value ladder, which is different than this, obviously, because we're digital marketers, okay? Now, the next step is a funnel, okay? Because without, you know, with a Facebook ad without a funnel, okay, you're limited to a lot of the things that you can do, like retargeting and really building extremely targeted custom audiences, okay? So what we want to do is we want to run Facebook ads to a funnel, and the way we approach it is this, okay? Mr. Dentist, okay, the best thing I can recommend is putting your business on Facebook ads, and let me tell you why. Because when we put an ad on there with something like a teeth whitening or a teeth cleaning, we would be able to target a very detailed targeting around your area, okay, maybe a 5 or 6 mile radius around your dentist practice, right? And we'll be able to target people who have, they have the idea to basically, opt into your offer. So basically what I mean by that is, to kind of clarify, is when you're offering Facebook ads, you're going to say something like, your offer is sexy enough that anyone in your 5 or 6 mile radius will actually come in to get, because why not, right? It's one of those things that, everyone has yellow teeth, or everyone has the intention to have a really bright smile, right? So that's a desire that a lot of humans have, and that's why you'll be able to run a successful Facebook ad. But Mr. Dentist, we can't just run traffic to your website. Why? Well, because the human beings of today in 2019 have an attention span of a goldfish, less than a goldfish. So if we were to run traffic or a targeted, patient or a potential patient to your website from an ad that they saw, okay, the probability of them getting lost in the space of your website is very high, because there's just too many things to click on, too many distractions, too much stuff going on, and we want them ideally to do one thing, and it's what? Exchange information, okay? So what we build is what's called a mini website, and I call it a mini website because a dentist doesn't study funnels, okay? So if you're talking to a dentist like a funnel hacker, right? Dude, you're not communicating with them. You might as well speak in Chinese. Are we on the same page there? Right? We're all literally, sometimes we think about, talking to a business owner, sounding all smart and sounding super intelligent, but at the end of the day, it's ruining your sale because you're complicating things. You're making things hard to understand for that business owner. So we need to dummy things down, and the way I call a funnel is called a mini website. Trust me, your business owners understand what a mini website is, okay? It's a smaller version of their current website, but with one ideal target, which is to exchange their information so that your team can follow up and actually deliver the service that you are good at, okay? Next thing is call tracking. Why do we want call tracking, Mr. Dentist? Well, because if you have John Doe on the phone, okay, and you think John Doe is the Wolf of Wall Street, right? Because every business owner has the Wolf of Wall Street on the phone, okay? Because that's all, they all say that. They all say, yeah, I am the Wolf of Wall Street. I'm the one who's going to, answer all the phone calls and close everybody. If you get someone on the phone with me, I'm gonna close them. All right, great. You jot that down. A lot of times I like recording that, guys. By the way, the onboarding session that you do with your clients, your qualification call and all that, I record all of those things, because then that allows me to use it as ammunition when a client tells me, oh, they're this Wolf of Wall Street, but then we listen to a call recording and someone looks pretty dumb, don't they? Right? So without that call tracking, okay, we won't be able to justify a lot of the things. And a lot of the things that I mean is, if you're generating leads for a business, okay, and you're generating, let's say, form fills, and you're not tracking calls, you won't be able to justify at the end of the month that you generated 56 calls plus X amount of leads on their form, okay? That is a really awkward position to be in when 30 days have gone past. You're getting killer results on Facebook ads, for example, for a dentist, and from your campaign, you've also generated 55 phone calls, okay? But because you forgot to offer call tracking or set that expectation that call tracking is something that's needed, okay, you just shot yourself in the foot. Because now you can only say that you've generated 50 leads, not 150, or 100 or whatever I said, because there's no data that dictates that you actually generated that lead or that call, right? Are we on the same page there? Drop a 255 in the chat if we're on the same page of why call tracking is extremely important to offer on every single digital marketing service that you promote or you offer to your clients, okay? Beautiful. Awesome. Another thing too, guys, with call tracking at the end of the month, okay, that then turns into other problems that you can solve, okay? Like maybe you need to offer your client some scripts, right? At the end of the 30 days, okay, you realize that he's not the Wolf of Wall Street and that now there's another problem. You don't have a lead problem, Mr. Client. You have a sales process problem. Let's just listen to some calls and be on the same page there. And then they will agree that they suck on the phone, which then gives you another problem that you can solve. Let's talk about that, Mr. Client. Once again, you jump on a call, And you don't solve the problem until you've actually exchanged something of value. And in that case, it's a bigger investment. You can easily charge your client $200, $250 to sell him some scripts, some phone scripts, so that he can then read them off every time he gets a new lead. There you go, you got more money in your pocket. That's a golden nugget, by the way, guys. So call tracking, social media posting. Why is social media important after call tracking? Well, because if you don't have a social media presence, right, on all the other platforms, then you basically don't exist in 2019. If you're just relying on one source like Facebook, okay? If you're just offering one service like Facebook ads, right? Or you're just posting on Facebook ads, what about the guys that are on Instagram? What about the guys that are on LinkedIn? What about the guys on Pinterest, right? You won't be able to reach out to them if you're not posting on those services, and that's ideally how you want to offer it to your clients. Like, Mr. Client, if you want to be the best, if you want to be the best of the best dentist in your area, we got to get you everywhere. We got to get you on LinkedIn. We got to get you on Facebook. We got to get you on Pinterest. We got to get you everywhere so that you can dominate the competition, okay? If you say that to your business owner, okay, they are going to get freaking excited. Because what business owner doesn't want to dominate the area? Does that make sense, guys? Does that make sense? Do you guys understand that, you know, the way you offer these services is extremely impactful to the ears of the business owner? If you're offering it like, yeah, you can just get social media posting, we could do that for you, right? Yeah, we could post for you. Guys, that doesn't get anybody excited. You're like, dude, you're just selling me stuff. Like, stop selling me, okay? Actually, help me, provide me value. How does this social media posting benefit me as a dentist, okay? How does that help me? Okay? Because if you can't paint that picture for them in a way that they're like, holy smokes, let's get started, guys, they're just going to hire someone else that can do that. Okay? Social media posting. Next thing is a website. Okay? Now, depending on how you do things, if you're offering an Insta site, okay, the website would then come first, right? Because that's your lowest hanging fruit. You're offering a done-for-you website. We don't have a dentist website, but if you were offering a website for one of the Insta sites, that would be up here in the front, whereas that's how you start your conversation. That's your conversation starter. But in this case, we're working with a dentist who has a website, okay? It may not be the best website, but ideally, once we have basically plugged or solved the problem of generating him what? Predictable new incoming business, because that's why we do all of these different things, right? Because what? He's going to be generating what? Phone calls and people going to his website from this. This alone, guys, by the way, just the directory listings alone, I have a landscaping company here in the local area, and it generates anywhere from 45 to 65 new customers every single month on autopilot. I don't do a thing, okay? Business owner pays me every single month. 45 to 65 calls per month, every single month, new clients. Each call can be worth thousands of dollars. You don't know who's gonna call, okay? I've had all types of people call, okay? That's directory listing, that's why it's number one. It's extremely powerful. Facebook ads is a predictable method of new business generation, meaning if we run an ad that's good, well copied, and is done properly with a great offer, right? Proper sales process, proper follow-up, that's predictable. You turn it on, you get leads, you turn it off, you stop getting leads. That's why it's the second thing, okay? First is first, second, second. You need the funnel, you recommend that as a funnel. And that's also the mini website that you would recommend as a service, and that's where you get paid additionally. It's like, Mr. Dentist, not just Facebook ads, we need that mini website, and the investment makes sense because this is gonna serve as your vehicle to generate you all of the predictable patients that you want for your dentist, right? Call tracking, we want the call tracking to track the salespeople on the phone, as well as to track and justify all the sales calls that you're making or that you're generating from your ads campaign, okay? You got social media posting, builds your presence. Also, this serves very well for SEO. Okay, a lot of people don't know this, but every time you make a post on social media, on LinkedIn, Pinterest, Twitter, all these different services, right? And you link it back to your website, okay? That serves as trust. In the world of Google, in the world of SEO, okay? Any link that comes from any of these platforms serves as a trusted link because Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, all of these platforms are extremely trusted avenues in Google's eyes. So if you keep interlinking back, so if you create a post like, you know, this month we're offering our $20 teeth cleaning, you know, find out more, click here, boom, and you link it back to your website, that right there then serves as a trusted source interlinking back to your website, which ideally will then increase the trust and ranking of your website. So that's when then we get into the website, because we want to be set up for success so that when we really focus on the website, when we get to that point, okay, we can really dominate. I mean, we can really do a good job, okay? Now, next thing is SEO, right? A lot of you guys are offering SEO at the top of the funnel. Guys, it is not going to work, at least for the business owner, when their intention is to generate a predictable flow of business. SEO takes anywhere from 3 to 6 months to start seeing any type of movement in rankings. Guys, trust me, I've been there selling SEO and selling basically the dream that in 6 months, right, 3 to 6 months, that's when you'll start. Like, yeah, your client will get excited at the beginning, but when they realize they paid a second invoice and a third invoice and they haven't even heard one phone call come in, even though they ideally understand your expectations, it really in their mind is like, man, this is difficult to pay $1,000 a month or $800 a month to this guy and I haven't seen a thing. Like, even though you may be doing everything correctly, okay, in your prospect's mind, it's like, what the heck is this guy doing? Why am I paying him, right? Even if you have all the metrics and everything that you've done, they don't care what you need to be doing to do it. They just care about the result. They care about the phone calls. That's why we start here, because they're going to be blown up with phone calls and leads. They're going to have leads and phone calls they can't even handle by the time we get to the website. And that's why the website's more of the longer term solution. All right, Mr. Dentist, we're going to start working on your website. I believe we should start reinvesting some of that cash flow that you got back into your website, into SEO, because now what we should work on is ranking you organically. Organically ranking you for the keywords or for the things that we're currently paying for, okay? Because if you really dominate on SEO, if you really dominate in your local area for all keywords, okay, you don't need paid advertisement anymore, guys. The people who are paying for ads, whether it's Google or Facebook, those are people who are not ranking on SEO. Why? Because they're not getting any traffic, so they have to pay for it. They have to pay to play, right? But then it becomes, now I'm ranking for what other people pay for, right? And so that's why it's so powerful, but we want to position it here, because if we don't, we won't be able to accomplish this with this, and guess what's going to happen? You're fired. Okay? You're going to get fired. Okay? You're going to sign up your client for 1 month. You're going to jump up and down, skip around your house, tell everybody that you just got a client, you're a digital marketer now, you're free laptop lifestyle. But they're only going to pay you 1 month, okay? We want to avoid that. So we want to start building that relationship, okay? By the time you get here, they love you. You're on speed dial, okay? Right? You're on speed dial. They love you, right? Is everybody on the same page? Right? I feel like I'm talking a lot. I want to make sure everybody's on the same page. If we're on the same page, drop a 545 in the chat. 545. Let's keep this moving. Is this exciting, guys? Am I on a roll here or what? Is this helpful? Is this helpful? Awesome, guys. So let's do it. Let's keep it moving. So SEO. Then content marketing, okay? What is content marketing, right? Content marketing is what we use to supplement SEO. Why? Okay? Because content marketing serves, think about it this way, and this is the best way you can explain it to your business owner, okay? Think about SEO as if you were on a ship in the middle of the ocean, okay? If you were in the middle of the ocean fishing, right, would you rather have 1 fishing line or 100? Drop in the chat. Drop in the chat. If you were in the middle of the ocean, you were fishing, would you rather have 1 fishing line or 100? Okay? Tom says 100. Smart man, Tom. I want to go fishing with you. Damien says 100. I want to go fishing with you too. Right? Obviously, it makes more sense to have 100. Why? Okay? Why does it make more sense to have 100? Let me hear it from you guys. Why does it make more sense to have 100 fishing lines in the water rather than 1? Okay? I want to hear it from you guys. See if you guys know what we're talking about here. So I'm just going to wait. Just going to wait here and see if you guys know. Better odds, all right? Okay, yeah, higher probability, right? More chance to catch the fish. Boom, right? Because more fishing lines, right, means more bait, right? Danny, you're trying to take notes? Dude, you can watch the recording after this. I know I'm moving fast, but the purpose is to really pack this up with value so you can go back and take your time and watch it through and actually absorb it and make sense of it, okay? So no worry about that. But yeah, guys, you have more probability of catching more fish. And let me break that down for you in a way where you can break it down to the business owner that you're gonna offer SEO to. Ready? So you're gonna say, all right, Mr. Business Owner, Mr. Dentist, you gotta think about SEO as having a boat in the middle of the water and you're fishing, right? And you once again ask him, would you rather have 1 or 100 fishing lines? And they're gonna tell you, obviously 100. All right, well, let me explain to you what content marketing is, Mr. Dentist. Well, content marketing means for every article that we post or add to your website, okay, where it's SEO optimized, remember that's why we're doing this first before we go here, okay? Because this doesn't make any sense before this. It just doesn't. You can't offer this until you offer this. Because if we do this without this, you're just blowing money out the window, okay? So that's why you gotta do this thing in order, okay? Now, once you're here, okay, you can explain it in a way, all right, Mr. Business Owner, now we're already doing SEO for your business, okay? We wanna add some content to your page every single month, whether it's 1 article, 2 articles, or whatever it is, because for every article we add to your website, okay, that's going to add an additional fishing line to your boat. Man, they're like, holy crap, how do we get to 100, right? Obviously, they're not gonna get to that point, but that's gonna hit them like with a, wow, what? So yeah, that's right. So for every piece of content we put on your website, that counts as 1 fishing line with bait on it. Meaning, if we put out that fishing line today, and in 10 years from now, we get a fish from it, it made sense. I mean, you just got a fish from a fishing line that you planted 10 years back. And now you're getting fish forever from that fishing line, right? So imagine adding 2 more fishing lines every single month. Let's just stay small. Let's just say you start them with 2 pieces of content every month just to get the feel, right? Just to get the feel for it, okay? 2 pieces of content, whether it's a blog article, whether it's an additional service that they're wanting to offer, whatever it is, you're planting another fishing line. Because then when someone types in the keywords that product or that article is about on Google, guess whose article will pop up? If you're the authority in the dentist space in that local area. Because obviously this only works if you're searching for, let's say, I'll just give you an example, guys. Content that can be for a dentist, like, you know, what's the best toothpaste if you're wanting to brighten your teeth, for example, right? How many people type that in on Google? Probably a lot. I mean, if you search it up, you know, a lot of people probably care about their hygiene, so they care about what's going to be their best product to clean their teeth, right? So people type that in on Google looking for information. And guys, if the dentist you're working with is the guy providing that information, what are the chances of that person that's looking for that information, if they need a teeth cleaning or if they need an extra service or whatever it is, that they hire the person teaching them? Guys, this is powerful. This is some powerful stuff. Because think about doing this consistently, compiling 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2. A year from now, your client will have what? 24, right? 12 times 2, 24 articles or 24 blog posts on their page that can ideally generate clients or fish that can pay them thousands of dollars depending on their value ladder, right? Dentist value ladder is easy $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, right? Because if they get braces, if they get dental implants, if they get anything coming from that little article, they just 100x their investment, right? So content marketing, are we on the same page with content marketing? Drop a 545 in the chat. I'm taking this slow here because I really want you to understand we're gonna move faster as we go through the other niches. But if I don't break this stuff down, it won't make any sense to you when we move through the niches, all right? And then we have Google Ads as your last service. And why is it last? Well, because since this isn't your lowest hanging fruit, with Google, what we're gonna be doing is supplementing the traffic if it makes sense. Not only that, if you're not getting the intended results that you're getting with this, that may be because 1, your offer isn't good enough, or 2, you got a lot of people falling off, and then Google Ads comes in for the retargeting. We retarget everybody on every single platform after that. That's where Google comes in, and that's basically gonna plug in the gap or plug in the leaks of all the people falling off of the funnel we're gonna retarget them and bring them back into the sales cycle. Okay, and it's gonna basically, it's gonna seal the deal, right? So that's a dentist value ladder here. What we're gonna do is we're gonna continue going here. The next one is a roofer, okay? We got the roofer here. Now, a roofer is similar, right? Once again, they have a physical location, directory listings. Difference here though, Google Ads is their top of funnel strategy. Why? Because a roofer costs thousands of dollars, right? Someone scrolling on their 30-minute break isn't just gonna buy a roof or isn't just gonna go in and inquire about a roof, right? They only got 30 minutes of time. They'd rather go watch a meme video or something or opt in for a teeth cleaning, right? But Google Ads, guys, when you're talking to a roofer, you're gonna wanna say, all right, Mr. Roofer, the best recommendation first is let's get you on Google. Let's get you on the maps. Let's get you getting calls coming in through the Google Maps. When anyone types in roofing, I need a roof, I need gutters or whatever it is, they find you on Google. Step one. Step two, Google Ads. Now let's build a predictable method of generating new roofing contracts for your business. The best recommendation that I can give you is let's position you on Google Ads where we can find those with the intention to build a roof, okay? Google Ads, right? Now that we have generated that intention customer, that intention click, we need to drive that click to a landing page, right? Or a mini website once again. Why? Because then we can take that extremely targeted traffic and get them to do that one that one result, which is the exchange of information so that your team can follow up. Someone asked, could Google Ads be substituted in place of Facebook ads at a higher ticket, higher urgency niches? And answered my question. Yeah, so we're gonna get through it, guys. This is gonna make more sense as I flow through it. I'm gonna start moving quicker here so we can get through it. So landing page, once again, call tracking, same benefits here. We can justify the calls and we could justify that the person handling the calls isn't qualified enough or they need help or everything is good and dandy and let's keep it moving, right? Social media posting, once again, omnipresence. They wanna be omnipresent. They wanna be everywhere so that they can become the authority in the space. Website, you jump into the website. Once again, let's reinvest the profits from here into your website. And that's the way you want to explain it to them, guys, because you're basically guiding them up your value ladder, and that's why you want to explain it that way. Let's take some of the investment and reinvest it back in your website so we can start dominating organically. Guys, you say it like that, they're gonna love you, okay? We got website, then we got a SEO. We need to optimize the website so that you can actually appear for all the different keywords that we're going for, okay? And then we move on to content marketing. Once again, the fishing line thing. You tell them about the fishing lines, how many fishing lines you can have in the water. You can be the authority in the space of roofing. Anything someone types in on Google, you can be ideally the person they find. Because you wrote the article, because you wrote the content, you become the authority and they would call you before anybody else. And then Facebook ads for retargeting, okay? Never run, some people do it, but I highly recommend the lowest hanging fruit for roofers is Google Ads. That's why it's here. Easiest, once again, the lowest hanging fruit. Facebook ads isn't going to be the best solution. That is going to be a great fit for retargeting. Okay, moving on. We got restaurants. For those working with restaurants, you got my boy here. He's flipping some noodles. Okay. One thing, directory listings, once again, get them on the maps. If you got a restaurant, right, you want people to show up to buy your stuff, right? That's why you got to be here. And it's funny because a lot of restaurants are lacking this because they think because they offer food, they sell food, that magically people are just going to flood their doors and order their stuff because they're hungry. Believe it or not, it is the farthest from the truth, guys. I walk by places of food and there's no one in there because there's nowhere to be found. Restaurants, directory listings, once again, same thing. Facebook ads for a restaurant, you can offer a free appetizer, buy one, get one, a birthday meal, or whatever it is. You can get really creative here, and video assets are gonna be your best friend for restaurants, okay? And then you would drive that traffic into a funnel where they can learn more about your restaurant, possibly see some images of people eating in the food, and they'll fall in love and opt into your offer. Call tracking, once again, same benefit here. You can track your calls, track the leads. Social media posting, this is a no-brainer. For restaurants, you wanna post all the really good-looking food on all the social media outlets because people are browsing through, especially food, They love looking at those images. They love checking out the food. They love seeing the sizzle. They love seeing like that really good taste, especially when you're hungry. You got yourself a customer there. And then you move on to website. You want to build them the website here at this point. And basically you're going to revamp their website, if anything, and make sure that all the key things are on there, like obviously their menu, their about us, if anything, their contact, their directions, their hours of operation, any offers that they're offering. And then once again, SEO, if they're a Latin or an Indian or a Chinese or a Japanese, whatever else restaurant, someone types it in on Google, SEO is going to be their best friend there, because without it, they won't be able to be found. Once again, content marketing, same thing. You want to add content that's going to be relative to their restaurant, whether it's the best, Indian meal in Florida. If you write a blog article on that, someone types it on Google, they'll find your restaurant. Content marketing. And then Google Ads, you would type in, for that you would do it here, and then that's also retargeting. Once again, unless you have like a really, really big brand, something that's really known, and then that's where you can get success with Google Ads at your top of funnel strategy. Okay, moving on, an attorney. Okay, we got directory listings if they have a physical location. Google Ads, because it's a search with intention with attorneys. It's going to be something so specific, whether it's a divorce attorney, whatever kind of attorney. It's going to be a very specific intended result. That's why you want Google Ads to a landing page. Then you got call tracking. You got your website after that, SEO, content marketing, social media posting, Facebook ads. You start to see a trend here. That's why I'm able to go through this faster, because once you understand what this top right here piece should be for your niche, guys, you're in the money. You're in the money. This is the hardest part, is getting this going, okay? If you can get this going, you're in the door already, guys, and it's just up to you to maintain that relationship, cultivate that relationship, make sure that they realize that you're still on their team, that you're following up with them, that you care about their growth, that you make sure everything is going well, because that's how they're able to then pay you. Guys, by the time they're here, by the way, by the time you get an attorney to this point, they're paying you a lot of freaking money, by the way, guys. They're paying at least $5,000 per month towards your agency, okay? Right? Not paying you $5,000 here, okay? When you have been able and you're qualified to solve that big of a problem, okay? Moving on, the gyms, once again, location, Facebook ads, they can run a 10-day free trial, sexy enough to get to anybody on their 30-minute break to exchange information and go to the gym, or a personal training session, okay? To a funnel, right? Because they can see the environment, they can see the people, they can see the stuff. And with one intention, to exchange information. Call tracking, once again, you guys know that. Social media posting is a no-brainer there. Then you got their website that you want to revamp if needed. And then if they got their website on point, guys, you could skip this one, and it can go straight into SEO. You don't always have to offer them a new website. If their website's on point, just offer them SEO at this point, okay? There's no need to redo something that's not broken, okay? Then you got content marketing, okay? Because they most likely don't have this going. And then, when I tell you guys, when you say that fishing line thing, they're gonna order more content than they spend on Facebook ads. Because it's something that they like, holy smokes, if I put out 100 fishing lines right now, that means that I can get fish from 100 fishing lines forever. That's a great investment. That sounds like a great investment to me. And then Google Ads as a retargeting strategy here. Okay, chiropractor, listings, location, Facebook ads, top of funnel strategy. Everyone has pain. Everyone can use an adjustment. Everyone's neck is broken because they're on their cell phones all the time. Facebook ads. It's a great offer for a chiropractor. To a funnel, call tracking once again, track your calls, social media posting, become omnipresent, website if needed, then SEO, content marketing, Google ads for retargeting. Moving on. Med Spa, you got your boy here. So bored he's eating his cucumbers. Okay. Once again, directory listings, location, if they have a location, obviously they do. Facebook ads as their top of funnel strategy, because who doesn't want a massage? Who doesn't want to eat their cucumbers while they're getting their toes done? Okay? Everybody wants that. That's why it works on Facebook ads. Funnel, call tracking, social media posting, website SEO, content marketing, Google ads. You guys get the point. If this is making sense, guys, drop a 545 in the chat. I'm going to start moving really, really quick here because I don't want to make this too long, but I want to make sure that you guys are on the same page. Awesome, awesome. Okay, last one, landscaper. Okay, you got my boy here. He knows what he's doing. Okay, landscaper. Once again, directory listings. They have a physical location now. Put them on the maps. This is what I was telling you guys. I personally have a landscaping company. I get 65 new leads every single month on autopilot without having me to lift a finger. Okay, high value leads, by the way, not low quality. I'm talking about a guy who calls up and he's like, I need to remove 25 royal palms from my backyard. Okay, great. Boom. That's a lot of money. Google Ads, top of funnel strategy, because it's a search with intention. People want specific things, whether it's landscape design, irrigation, outdoor lighting, whatever it is. Google Ads, top of funnel. Landing page, call tracking to track your calls. Website, SEO, content marketing, so on and so forth. Okay? Important. You need to be clear, ethical, sharp, and human, and an expert at offering your services, okay? Go out there with absolute confidence in your offer. No one likes working with an amateur, especially when you are charging thousands of dollars, okay? Your doubts and lack of expressing absolute confidence in your offering will cause your prospect to raise red flags, which is why when you will be asked for 100 testimonials, 54 case studies, and 2 contacts they can personally call just so that they can justify the offer you just gave them. We find ourselves in that situation a lot, don't we? Your prospect will end up looking for the buying confidence from someone else because they weren't able to get that from you. Looks like we got some work to do, don't it? Right? So the end of the goal, I mean, the whole takeaway, your biggest takeaway here is, guys, you need to have confidence. It's not about having testimonials. It's not about having case studies. People want to work with someone who's in their best interest, someone that knows that if they pay you money, that you're going to do good with it, not go out and party and blow it. Okay? So hopefully this was helpful. Okay? I'm going to open it up for about 5 or 10 minutes of Q&A. We went through a lot of stuff. Remember, this is a recorded training, guys, so you'll be able to go back and take notes and go through it a lot slower. Okay, I moved really, really quickly, but hopefully I was able to do it clear, because that was the whole point. Okay? Does anyone have any questions? I see some questions. Let me roll up here because I can't see them. All right. Do we have any questions, guys, about anything? Any niche that we didn't talk about? Any approach? Anything?
I gotta jump in and just say something.
Oh, we got Chad in the building.
I gotta jump in and just say something really quick. Can we hit the GoPro really quick?
Hit the GoPro.
Hit the GoPro. I gotta stand close to you because I don't have a mic.
Okay.
First and foremost, what's going on, everybody?
Woo!
How we doing? I'm gonna let you guys drop in some comments and some questions for Angel. I just want to say one thing. Can we go front face real quick? Hot diggity damn! Angel just dropped some fire. I was sitting in the back watching this the entire time. And guys, you need to take action. What Angel's telling you guys is you need to go out and take action. Like, he literally just mapped out everything that you need to know on how to actually go out, find customers, and build the value ladder. Like fire. If you guys are on the same page and you think what Angel just did was absolutely amazing, drop in a 333 in the chat right now. Let's go. Do not make me go into the panelists, and I will find you and call you out. 333 in the chat. Let's go. Labora, Tom, Danny, Damien.
Woo! We got people fired up.
What's going on, everybody?
All right, so we got a question here.
All right, I'm going to jump out, but guys, some fire right here. Take action, people.
All right, so we have a question here. What if your client is more educated in SEO than you and won't listen to services I can offer because they want to ask technical questions? This one's fun. I love people like this because that's when I have the opportunity to serve them some humble pie, okay? Humble pie is my favorite flavor of dessert when you get people like this, right? Because what they don't realize is that they called you for help, okay? You gotta, unless obviously you're reaching out to them, okay? And then you're talking about SEO and then they're going back and forth that they're doing it all. That person isn't qualified. Obviously they don't need your help. But when you're speaking to someone who is trying to guide you on how to do your services, right? Sometimes you got to just remind them, guys, like, who called who? Sounds like you know what you're doing. Why aren't you doing this yourself? Why are we even on this call? Guys, get real with your clients, guys. Don't get ran over. When you get people like this literally excites me. This is why I love sales so much, because when you get people like that, that then really shows that you are the expert and not them. It really verifies that you know what you're talking about and not them. Okay? So, guys, this is something that you will be able to accomplish whether you're starting out or advanced, right? I didn't talk about like the nitty gritty. I didn't talk about the cost per lead. I didn't talk about the cost per click. I strictly talked about the benefits, okay? I literally strictly talked about the benefits in their investment into my agency and why they should invest in me versus anybody else, okay? You guys are gonna need to rewatch this video if it didn't click for you, because everything you need to know about getting results and success with a digital marketing agency, whether it's to hit your first client or to hit 10K, is in this training right here. Because once you get it down, all you gotta do is what? Repeat. Repeat. Maximize. Multiply, right? Multiply the amount of contacts you're doing. Multiply the amount of demos you're doing. Multiply the times you're doing this value ladder with business owners, right? And then what? The sale doesn't stop there. You ask for a testimonial, right? To serve as your case study that you all want, okay? You ask them for your case study, and then you ask them for referrals on top of that. Guys, it doesn't stop at the sale, okay? So hopefully this, guys, was super helpful. I'm gonna close this out here and tell you guys that this was super fun putting this together. I am also going to be providing you guys a cheat sheet that you guys will have access to. Also, I'm going to make a very hard quiz you guys asked for. I'm going to make this SAT, ACT style, straight up. And if you guys do a really good job, I might even throw something else in there. Secret. Okay? And I also provide you a cheat sheet asset you can download where it's going to also give you guys the value ladders so you don't have to take all those notes. And not only that, I'm going to provide in there something I didn't even show you guys, but it's literally the step-by-step breakdown on the approaches of each individual niche and how to approach it and how to sell it. Basically what I said to you in person is what is going to be found in the strategy guide that you guys will be able to download. So hopefully you guys found this helpful, and I am super excited to have you guys here part of DashU, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next training. Hope you guys have an amazing, great day, and take massive freaking action. Peace.